Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kunal, and today we are going to discuss about should Hindi be a national language of India. So I'm starting this group discussion, keeping my point first, and I believe that whether it is Hindi, Marathi, or any language, I'm opposed. I always oppose the idea of imposing language to anybody, whether it is Hindi, Marathi, Tamil, Telugu, any language. I always oppose the idea of imposing a language to any language, then it's fine whether you use Hindi, Marathi, or Hindi. That's my point.
Okay, so I'm Nidhi and I would like to give my opinion about this topic. As far as my opinion is concerned, Hindi should be declared as the national language of India because every country has its own national language. China has Mandarins, Korea has Korean, and every country has specific language having national language. So why not India? Now it's time to adopt Hindi as national language of India. And also the reasons are, firstly, Hindi is mostly spoken language in India. Almost 40% of the population speaks Hindi. And the another name of our country is Hindustan actually. So Hindi is the most traditional language we have had. Although India is a diverse country, still Hindi is the most spoken one. So Hindi should be adopted as the national language. Also, our constitution promotes like article 34 something, there's an article which promotes speaking Hindi language. And every nation has that particular language of theirs. There are several government schemes, government programs that are implemented all over the country, and our country is represented at global level with that Hindi language only. Even our prime minister ji speaks Hindi in front of everyone with proud. So everyone must be proud of our language, and now it's time to adopt it as a national language. So thank you.
Okay, so good morning. My name is Ashwin, and uh, we are talking about Hindi language. Should we take should we take Hindi language as a part as a national language of India? So, if we talk about India, there are total 22 languages in total, and more than hundreds are dialects uh, of every regional. If you talk about regional territory, and first I will talk in two case. In first case, what what are the benefits if we took Hindi as a national language? So first, Hindi is widely spoken language. Around 43% of the Indians speak Hindi language, and also according to three language rule of our education system, English, Hindi, and any regional language is taken as uh, uh, into a syllabus of any regional education system. So because of that, widely Indian speaks no uh, Hindi language. So that's the support. But about the disadvantages, if we talk, many anti-Hindi uh, agitation were taken place around the country around 1965 uh, in the region like Tamil Nadu and other most southern part of the India. So while sitting in the room and just saying that about we should take Hindi as a national language, but there are many historic events happened where uh, due to same topic, many agitation were taken place. Like I have given one example of Tamil Nadu. So due to this fact, Hindi and English was considered as the only official language, but not the national language. So I think we should consider it only as an official because it may hurt others' uh, pride, regional pride of Indians. So that's my opinion.
Good evening. My name is Suhani. Hindi is an easy communication language, and in northern state, Hindi is already firstly spoken languages in school, colleges, and public space also. And Hindi is also most widely spoken language also in India. So I think it is Hindi is a national language in India.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Om, and according to me, Hindi should be the national language of India because the large number of people in India spoke in Hindi, and our religious book and our college and school teacher teach in Hindi, and that's why Hindi should be national language of India.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Manoj. India is a diverse country, but with different culture and their traditions. But uh, people from different states, so they have their own attachment to their regional languages, and we have different 22 official languages. And apart from this, for people have their own attachment with their regional languages. Uh, so we cannot declare Hindi is officially for their attachment or their.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Bhavesh, and I think that like Hindi is good for trade and communication. And as far as the communication, I go to the trade at like other state. There is no way like apart from English for a global communication. So Hindi is good, but like for diversity, uh, like I born in the Maharashtra, so the Marathi is my mother tongue. So like it is difficult me to adapt the Hindi apart from the Marathi. So for if I go to the another state, in that state like there for the other state peoples, it must not be a compulsion for people to speak in a regional language if he is not at good at this local language. So for this, Hindi is good for communication. So I believe that Hindi should be a like language which
National language.
yes.
Good evening, friends. I think that Hindi language must be a national language because in most of the state in our country they can speak in Hindi, and we are adapt to write the English, then we should also adapt for Hindi language. If we study English, we can also study for Hindi also. That's
Good evening, everyone. My name is Manasvi. Uh, Hindi in India, most of the people spoke Hindi language, but in India, it is a very religious country, and every religion have their own language. If we Hindi announce the national language, then we are disrespect their languages.
Firstly, I would like to highlight a point stated by my fellow contestant that there is a three language rule. So everyone knows English is going to be the common language everyone using and containing in the syllabus. Secondly, it is Hindi, and third priority is given to the regional language. So declaring Hindi as a national language doesn't mean people don't have the right to speak and communicate in their official language. Declaring a language as a national language doesn't implies it. You can communicate in your regional language, but a nation has to represent their, like every nation has their language. So we need India to adapt Hindi as the national language, because it would represent our country. Generally, people up all over from the other countries, they know, or they think that India is actually, some people have that perception that Hindi is the national language of India. So it should be considered to become a part of our, uh, it should be considered to be national language. And again, it doesn't implies that you have to communicate in Hindi only. You can use your language. Everyone has seen in different countries, meanwhile it's China, if the person doesn't know the Chinese, the different people going there, they use another languages. So it is not like there's a specific rule you have to use your national language only. You can use other languages. So you should remove this taboo from the mind, that if you elect Hindi as national language, so you are not able to speak your languages. So it doesn't disrespect any other language.
So as Nidhi said that Hindi can be a national language, but I would like to counter that idea of imposing language of Hindi language, because India is known as India is known for its diversity, and every people around the country has have their attachment to their own language. So we can't say that Hindi should be a national language because 40% of Indians speak. It is not much. 40% is not much. Only North Indians speak English, and we Maharashtrian. That's the central India. Northeastern people, South Indian people, they don't know Hindi as much as we consider them to know. So my point is that we can't make any regional language as a national language. We have to choose some different language like English.
Okay, so according to you, electing another language which is not, which has not originated from our own country, has to be elected as the national language just because it is a trend of speaking that language in every country. So this is, I don't think that's a correct point. Again, I said, if someone is not able to communicate in Hindi, then they should learn Hindi language, because it is already implemented in the syllabus. And no one is disrespecting the other language. You can talk, you can use your language as well, but Hindi is represented actually globally. Our leaders speak Hindi in global level, global stage. So everyone there knows as Hindi is the major language that people use. And again, 40% of the people speak Hindi, and the rest 60% doesn't speak any particular language. They have their own languages like Malayalam, Telugu. So the mostly spoken is Hindi only, and our roots are attached to the Hindi language. It is originated from Sanskrit language, and earlier people used to speak and communicate in Hindi language only, and then the rest of the languages emerged. So why not opting it for national language?
I wanted to support your point, but I can't because, as you said, that Hindi was a so and so ancient kind of. But there are many South Indian languages that are
Yes.
very ancient, like Tamil, and there was a Pali, but now it is converted to.
But we
Hindi.
have to focus on the mostly spoken part.
Yes, you are right, but people think that they are being imposed by that particular language, that is Hindi. That okay, I shouldn't speak, I will not speak in Hindi because my mother tongue is Marathi. So the idea of imposing any language, whether it is Hindi, Marathi, or any language, because they have their own attachment to their own language, and they think that oh, this is some different language and we can't speak it. We shouldn't speak that language.
First
So
of
we have
all,
to.
First of all, I would like to correct your statement given by yours against me of
It
if
was in
we
the favor.
no, that was against you
That
said
three language rule was in your favor.
not about
Already
three language
changed.
rule. Your ideology of if we give status to a language about national language,
Mhm.
suppose Hindi. So other you said that Other people might feel that they can't speak their own language. They will have to choose their. So I really want to mean is to ki- if we made Hindi as a national language, so it feel as imposing that language on others. Means not totally, but if we see according to southern part people perspective, or people who didn't speak or know Hindi language, they might feel imposing that language on them, as we have given this language status of national language of India. So uh, that may feel as imposing that language on them, and so I feel that we can convince them about using Hindi language, but we can't. We don't have a right to impose that language on themselves. So that's why I feel that giving that status to Hindi of national language is correct. So that's my opinion.
Why do you think that speaking Hindi is kind of imposition to the people? Like, if we declare it as a national
Not
language,
exactly impose but
if
it,
people can speak, if the southern people, they are not able to speak other languages, so they can speak in English. So why not anyone can adapt talking in Hindi when it's our own country's language rather than some another language originated from another nation? Why not respect our nation's language? Why not give priority to our nation first?
only
If
having.
people are speaking in English, ultimately a contestant said that English can be more preferable. But again, I would like to point out that why not choosing our nation's language? If people are ready to speak English,
I'm not.
some parts of the our country, they are ready to communicate in English. They are ready to learn English. So why not learn Hindi language?
I'm not in the support of learning English language that you are.
I was just pointing out the common point.
I'm not in that support, but that is another way of means another way of uniting the nation all over the nation, because as we know English is internationally uh, spoken in, like means given that somewhat status, not official, but having such that. But I'm not supporting that. Uh, that was my fellow mates' ideology of
Exactly, I said if element, not do.
another way of approaching that national language thing. But I the opinion given by me was that earlier, not supporting this English language as national language of India. So, and about 40% of the Indians, we can't just because of the 40% of the Indian supports this Hindi language. We can't give such a big status of national language of India as Hindi to them. We should respect also the 60% of the Indians of they are speaking other languages. Just because of this 40%, we can't give Indians the national language title. So that's my opinion.
Like I saw many people who doesn't adapt any other language apart from their regional language. Like if I go to the South India, they are firm to their language, and other like other language is English. So if we go to that people and tell them to learn Hindi, it is impossible to for adaptation like Hindi. So it is going, like I can say it is good, but everyone should adapt the language and respect the other language. Like if I speak Hindi in the southern part, they don't accept my language. They only accept the English and their regional language. So in my perspective, it is not good. Like if I doesn't know your local language, so how can I speak in that? So it requires time. So like for that, English is the best. Like speaking.
But we are not forcing people to learn Hindi. If we considered Hindi as a national language, so we only declared Hindi as a national language. We don't force people to learn Hindi. They can speak in their own languages also. We only declared as India, Hindi is a national language of India. We are not forcing people to learn and spoke in Hindi also. They can speak in their own languages also.
The point is just that apart from English, if we are not using, if we keep it aside, there should be another, our own another language which should be represented at a global level, and which common language, there should be a common language which all people should know from all the parts of all the states and parts of our country. So if we put the foreign language aside, there's Hindi is the best option only. And again, people have all the rights to communicate in their own language. Even the constitution doesn't support like imposing you have to speak in Hindi and Marathi only and your particular regional language only. Constitution doesn't support that. It's just there's a status that now Hindi is adapted as the national language and most commonly used language apart from any foreign language.
You say that we are considered English as a national language, but if we consider English as a national language, so in that also we are not forcing people to learn English also.
So my point is that as she said that time that Hindi can be a national language. Like you are living in Maharashtra for how many years?
I was born here.
What if I say you that? What if I tell you that you should only speak Marathi? You know Marathi? You can speak in Marathi.
Yes,
I never heard you speaking
can
Marathi.
communicate it. I know
You
Marathi
know
very
what?
well.
The Hindi speaker thinks that they have that privilege to say that okay, Hindi can be a national language, but you can ask to the non-Hindi people. They are complete because every person have their own attachment to their own language. Only the Hindi people have that privilege to say that oh, Hindi should be national language, Hindi should be national language. But not everyone say that because there are a lot of dialects, lot of other different languages. And why I said Hindi, English because English is a foreign language, but no one is attached to that language. You can adapt that language, and that is the reason we are here for.
Okay, tell me, if we don't adopt Hindi as a national language and don't collectively teach it to every part of the country, then tell me, if we are going to, suppose someone is going to Maharashtra, he or she doesn't knows Marathi, and then the problem arises that we cannot speak that regional language. If we go to the southern part, they we don't know about the particular Malayalam and Tamil language. So then again the problem arises. We cannot learn every language. So there should be a common language that everyone should be able to speak in. So Hindi is the best option for that. And we cannot include English because it's not our country's language. So Hindi is the best option we can say here.
I completely agree with you, but the problem is that people think that they are getting imposed. Again, I'm saying the same word.
For that, we do have a solution. Government can create several programs for that to educate people about that. There should be some banners, hoardings, and several programs to educate people about this and removing this mindset, this kind of wrong mindset from people's mind, I believe. So there's no problem in declaring Hindi as a national language because again, our country is also known as Hindustan.
Is that
Like
so?
I have a fact, like interesting fact. Like lot of people present here. Someone know, someone speak Marathi, someone speak Hindi, and but everyone's mobile phone has a default language as English. Like in India, almost 80 to 90% device local language is English. Even though they speak their regional language, but their device language is English. At that time, they can understand and communicate properly with their mobile and understand what we are doing by reading the titles in English. So, like this kind of adaptation is in the people, but they are not choosing like English. I saw few people who has his phone's default language in Malayalam or in Hindi. Like there are no options. I saw never met a person whose device setting like default language is in Hindi. So everyone like he is, if he is illiterate or he is not as much as educated, but his device local like default language is English. So it is not difficult for everyone to adopt this language.
Also about addressing recent tech or advanced technology, the default language is English means they can't give means like any device. China is a different thing. They are creating their own tech, so they are developing their own language. But we talk about all over in India, sorry, all over the world. The default language is English only. They can't give their language since means about have options of other regional languages like Hindi or any regional language.
Why do people think that almost all the people will oppose the idea of making Hindi as the national language? Most of the people are in support of it, we can say, or maybe not every, but some people support it. If we talk about uh, some big government schemes, some big advertisements, any big advertisement of a big product based in India, so all the original advertisements are in Hindi language only, because everyone knows in Hindi is the main official language. It is widely used because all these ads and all these schemes, they are originally in Hindi language, and then for the understanding of another people of another states, they are dubbed into their language but officially made in Hindi language only. So there must be a reason for that.
Actually,
So you have to think on that part only instead of focusing on that particular topic.
Actually, Hindi was the national language, but in recently 2 to 3 years ago, they removed the like the title as the India as a Rashtra Bhasha, and they give the privilege to their local language also. So this is due to the internal dilemma of the people. Like the Tamil people won't accept the Hindi as a national language. Maharashtrian people were not accepting as a Hindi. So because of that, the government of India just removed the Hindi as a Rashtra Bhasha and promoted the regional language. So this was the dilemma happening. So it is not possible for every Indian to adapt the Hindi.
But we cannot speak regional language at global level. We can speak Hindi.
Not known like
We do speak, some people do speak English, but our country is known for Hindi, and our and our readers, they speak in Hindi only. They cannot speak in their regional language,
okay, but there is
whatever
a
the language it is, Gujarati and Marathi, whatever it is. So they choose Hindi for it only.
there is a converter like Hindi. Everyone can't understand Hindi at a global level. So
Yeah,
they like it is
it's
converted
not
into
about this.
English.
Everyone has the translator. Russian president has its own translator. Everyone has their own translator, but the fact is they are using their language. It's their pride. They are not ashamed of using their original language, so we can use that as well. And for the other people, no one understands every language, so translator is for there. But it's about pride, that how we accept our language and speak our language and communicate in our language globally with pride, and giving respect to that language instead of using another one's language for that. So Hindi is most suitable language for that.
Suitable, but we can't adapt with Hindi for a long game because our economy, our technologies, and everything, we are almost depend on the west side.
Uh,
We can't say that okay, we will speak in Hindi and now we will take our translator with us and then he will speak. There is some reason why we all are here and learning this specific language, English.
but in some official documents, the Hindi is already used in that document.
Yeah, completely fine with Hindi because Hindi is the third language I know apart from English and Marathi. I'm agree with Hindi, but the problem is that only North Indians have that acceptance to the Hindi that okay, Hindi should be national language and all. But once I was in South India, they don't even want to take it as a Hindi. They be like okay, we do not separate language and this is something different part. They even say that we are not the part of India. They said we are some different. We are the South Indian part, and we have our own culture and we have our own different this and that. So they
Is
completely oppose Hindi.
isn't that called being anti-national because they don't consider themselves as part of India?
Yeah, that is the
Just
different
cut
point.
this.
But like, I am with you as a that part of that Hindi should be because Hindi is the third language that I know apart from English and Marathi. I should say, but not most of the Indians agree to it because northeastern people, South Indian people, they don't know. They are able to learn. They are able to learn English than Hindi. When Autowalas are like, okay, we'll talk in English. We'll try to talk in English, but no, we can't talk in Hindi. Again, the same imposition game. Like as I said, you know Marathi. You can
Yes.
speak Marathi,
Yes.
but not much better than I speak Hindi. Being Marathi.
So what's the point of that?
No, my point is imposition is like that. If I tell you, no, you should speak Marathi from now. You have to speak in Marathi, not Hindi in Marathi.
But again, it's no one. It's nowhere written that you have to speak in national language only. India is a diverse country. Everyone has their own language. It's just about giving a proper respect to that language, giving proper position to that language, because every country has their national language. So it's not imposing.
But
You have to be
it
clear
feels
about that.
it
Right.
feels like imposing to the non-Hindi speaker. Like my mother tongue is Marathi. I mean, yours is Hindi. What if I tell you that no, you should start speaking Marathi from today?
But no
what
one
do
is
you feel?
imposing that, no.
But it feels like imposing Hindi to us.
if you see according to their perspective,
Yes,
they
to
feel
the non-Hindi
like
perspective, they
imposing
feel
their
like okay, we are being imposed by these English speakers. Like you are here from 22 years, still you are not that fluent in language. So that's where the problem comes. So I think English we can adapt it better. There is no attachment to that language, no cultural
barriers.
barriers.
Like if like you said that uh, our leaders speak Hindi at global level. What if they were Hindi was not like as good as like it is accepted in India. So if another language is accepted in India widely, so the global our leader at global position will speak that another language. So uh, it, it is counteracting each other. Like if Marathi is at like suppose Marathi, like every Indian speaks Marathi. If so, the leaders come from that background and they were speaking the Marathi at global level. So we can't say that every people to learn Marathi.
But now it is Hindi.
Like yes,
Hindi
it
is
is
represented
accepted.
at that point.
Yes, it is
So you have
accepted.
to consider that only, na?
It is global.
Yeah, like
We cannot take the other perceptions here.
no. This point is that like this and my language is Marathi, and we are telling you no, you have to speak Marathi from today.
Declaring national language as Hindi doesn't
Just example.
take your right of communicating in your own language. It's just a declaration,
Yeah.
not imposition.
But they feel like okay, you have declared the
You feel like so you have to kind of adopt to it.
if we talk about the
You
individual,
people should think rationally rather than just being emotional all the time.
but people are emotional enough to their culture and you know that it is our language. And
Hindi is also part of culture.
there may be
but only for the
situation
non-Indian
like
part.
a situation like appears like if we declare from today that Hindi is a national language, then a person from a Hindi side may ask Tamil side person, why are you not learning Hindi language? It's the national language of India, you must learn it. So that emotional attachment feel about their own pride gets hurt. So that's the problem.
I completely agree with your point. Some people are like that. If
They
you have to
doesn't.
speak this particular language, they kind of impose it. It's just we need to teach them. Like it's not like imposing the language. I completely agree with this point, and no one has the right to impose any language on anyone. So I think you are correct in that. No opposition to that.
Even I'm also supporting that idea of making Hindi a national language, but there is a reason we can't do that.
Otherwise, till now that situation may appear. Just
And India is a country where people are very deeply rooted to their culture.
yeah.
And like
We
it is,
should,
it is happening like that. Suppose consider a class and a teacher who is giving all his attention to one student
Mhm.
and remaining student as it is. Like like it will feel that it the other student will think that oh my sir come give attention to only one student and we are like as it is. So like they feel that like if we give a privilege to a one specific language, then they will feel like oh government is giving attention to a certain language and not ours. Like apart from that, their like cultural importance. Some of the language are even older than the Hindi, but government is giving the attention to the one language, so they feel like that. So that's why the entire scenario was happening.
because there are many people in India who doesn't care about others' emotions, so they may give their this statement about you should this is the national language, you must learn it. So they doesn't care about other people of other states, their emotions. So um, that's why we should not make India as a national.
People are very emotional when it comes to their language.
Uh,
My language is superior. So I think that's why you can choose Hindi without any
Hesitation.
attachment or something, because it also opens the global level exposure to us.
I do agree with this point. India is a diverse country. Several languages are there. Indian people are quite emotional, attached to their roots. They have that kind of attachment with their language. So we have to respect everyone's opinion and what language they speak. We have to involve it as well. And our constitution also supports us communicating in whatever language you want. You can. So there is no way you can impose any language on anyone. I agree to that. Conclude कर ले.
Okay, so we conclude that all language has its own beauty and all peoples are attached to their own language. So Hindi is not we declared as a national language.
So we come. So by the end of this group discussion, we has come to this conclusion. Some people stated the facts that why we should adopt Hindi as the national language, giving some specific reasons like widely spoken and accepted language, and other reasons are also there. Like India is a diverse country, so we cannot just impose any particular language. It will hurt the sentiments of other people. So combining these opinions, so there's and not a particular decision we can take whether to adopt Hindi as national language or not. So I think there are these mixed opinions, so we have to respect both sides. Every coin has two sides, so we have to respect both the sides, and we don't have a particular, we cannot conclude or cannot choose a particular opinion for that. So I think we need to conclude this, and this was the end of our group discussion. Thank you for participating in this group discussion. Thank you very much.